Right now at 4:30, Governor Stitt addressed the Oklahoma legislation to start the 2024 session. What are his plans for the year? Big names were the talk at last night's Grammys, who won and which artist made headlines after her announcement. And the UCO wrestling team dominated yesterday. Mark Lowe will have a full breakdown of the matches and other UCO games from the weekend. All of this and more happening right now on UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our first newscast of 2024. I'm Emma Birch.
And I'm Mark Lowe. This morning, Governor Kevin Stitt spoke at the 2024 Oklahoma State of the State address. In his sixth address, as governor, Stitt recapped several of his successes over the past year and spoke on many concerns across the country and how they affect Oklahoma. As he has in the past, Governor Stitt put a large emphasis on Oklahoma's economic growth being driven by the energy industry. He said, quote, "In the last 5 years, we've had record revenue growth, the lowest unemployment, and record savings. We have an energy advantage because we're promoting our bedrock industries of oil and natural gas. We're pioneering new forms of energy, and now we're number 3 in the wind energy production in America." Along with promoting the economy, Stitt spoke much about continuing to cut taxes for Oklahomans, saying that in the next 20 years, the state will reach a 0% income tax rate for its citizens. After the economy, the governor's main focus in the address was continuing education reform. With a large emphasis on school choice and charter school expansion, Stitt said, "Let's have more schools and be number 1 in the nation for charter schools, especially when they're proving they work. More schools, more innovation, more freedom."
And towards the end of the address, Governor Stitt spoke about the infamous McGirt decision. Despite the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to cite and guarantee criminal jurisdiction on tribal lands, Stitt continued to take the issue with the situation, calling the tribal lands a, quote, "confusing and conflicting patchwork of jurisdiction across our state," end quote. After the address, Cherokee Nation Principal Chief Chuck Hoskin Jr. released a statement responding to the address saying, quote, "Instead of embracing tribes and our cultural and economic contributions to the state of Oklahoma, the governor continues to treat us as problems that need to be solved," end quote. Chief Hoskins would later go on to thank Governor Stitt for his comments regarding the tribe's recent negotiations, but it appears tensions between the governor and the tribes have yet to lighten. And outside today, we've been feeling kind of like May, but today's definitely kind of felt more like February.
Yeah, for sure. It's the first time it feels like like this last week at least. It seems like it's actually winter outside. We're now going to go to Maureen Burke for our first look at weather. Maureen, how's it looking?
Hi Edmond family. Currently outside it is mostly sunny. We are sitting at 53 and the winds are a little high. It's 16 miles per hour. And because of all that rain this week, our humidity is sitting at 64. Looking ahead, we have a pretty calm week. Nothing really crazy going on with the weather until this weekend. This weekend a cold front is supposed to come through and there is possible snow on this Super Bowl Sunday. I will have a full weather look for you later on in the show, but for right now, I'm going to toss it right back to the desk.
Thank you, Maureen. There was a lot of shaking going on this weekend as residents across the state reported feeling another earthquake. The U.S. Geological Survey recorded a 5.1 magnitude earthquake at 11:24 p.m. Friday. It originated 7 miles southwest of Prague, a location that is historically known for some of Oklahoma's biggest earthquakes. This earthquake just comes 3 weeks after the 4.3 and 4.1 magnitude earthquakes that originated in Edmond last month. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, this is the first earthquake originating in Oklahoma to reach this high of a magnitude since Cushing's 5.1 magnitude earthquake in November of 2016.
Over on the West Coast, California is seeing another natural hazard as floods have been reported across the state.
Millions of people across Southern California remain under a high risk of excessive rainfall. Early Monday morning, crews were busy rescuing people across the state trapped by flooded waters. Nicholas Pasculi, spokesperson for Monterey County, says even though they have high capacity in their reservoirs, they'll be keeping an eye on water levels.
The biggest thing we're concerned about is watching the river levels, of course, because oftentimes the rivers don't reflect the amount of water that's come down until the water comes off the mountains and the watershed.
Parts of Los Angeles, where the heaviest rain is located, are forecast to receive close to half a year's worth of rain by Tuesday. By the end of the storm, parts of Southern California could see between 4 to 8 inches of rain, with higher elevations seeing 8 to 16 inches, and a considerable amount of snow in mountains and foothills. Officials warning for the potential for life-threatening flash flooding and landslides in central and southern parts of the state. Some people who were preparing for this storm felt there was only so much they could do.
We can be prepared as we want, or like the county could do whatever they want, but like Mother Nature takes its course.
The storm is expected to pound Southern California through Monday night.
We could use a break from Mother Nature, that's for sure.
I'm Ivan Rodriguez reporting.
And thankfully, we do not have any rain like that around
kidding.
here. We've had a little bit of a drizzle the last week, but again, nothing like that.
No kidding. We'll have to see if we'll keep getting these spring-like temperatures or more winter. Maureen Dirk will have your full look at weather after the break.
Happy birthday! Make a wish.
Miss you guys.
Blue skies smiling at me, talking about blue skies. Do I see bluebirds singing a song, talking about blue skies from now on?
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Are you really sure this is all going to fit?
Oh, it'll fit. I got that.
All right.
When hauling anything, ensure it's secure. Losing your load is dangerous for all drivers. We want everyone to make it home safe. Help make Oklahoma safe by securing your load.
Welcome back, Edmond, and I'm here to give you your weather forecast. Like I said earlier, it is 53 degrees outside, and because of that wind, it is feeling like 47. As we look at the weather conditions across the map, we are sitting at 50s and high 40s. And then as we move into tonight, it's going to be 32 and clear. The winds are going to die down just a little bit at 8 miles per hour. Humidity is going to be 53. As we look at tonight across the state of Oklahoma, we have 30s throughout, 29 in Miami and 32 in OKC. And then as we go into tomorrow across the board, again, we are just getting 60s and high 50s. And then as we go into tomorrow, 7 a.m., it's going to be 32 and cold. So make sure you bring a jacket as you're heading to work or school. By lunchtime at noon, it's going to be 55 and windy. And then by 7 p.m., it should be clear and 58. All right, and here's your 7-day forecast, which y'all have all been waiting for this entire show. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're going to see a lot of 60s. Wednesday and Thursday, some wind is going to come through. Make sure y'all are outside on Thursday because it's going to be 67, the hottest of the week. And then as we go into the weekend, some clouds are going to move in. That cold front is going to come through on Saturday night. And it's going to be 47 on Sunday. That's your Super Bowl. I know I'm going for the Kansas City Chiefs. What are you guys going to go for back at the desk?
Well, Maureen, I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, so I'm kind of lucked out on both teams. Really hope, I'm just ready for Usher, really.
Yeah, I'm also a Dallas Cowboys fan, same boat as Emma, but I actually like these teams a little bit, at least a little bit, but I'm going to go for the 49ers this Sunday. I think that they can do it, and it'll be rough, but I think they got a good chance.
And the weather looks really good for the game.
It does. I mean, Las Vegas beautiful this time of year,
Right?
really. So should be a great game. Looking forward to it. And last night was the 66th Annual Grammy Awards.
When we come back, we'll take a glance at what trending social media and what big stars took the stage last night. Stay with us.
I was raised to believe in the power of possibility, to always move forward but never forget where I came from, to value hard work, ingenuity, and hospitality. On one hand, my people are rough and rugged. On the other, refined and elegant. They taught me how to love beautiful things and cherish my past, to seek out adventure, eat well, and to have a good time. So I keep their traditions alive every place I go. They call me Oklahoma City, but you can call me the modern frontier.
UCentral News as a whole, you got to be in those different areas, like being on camera, being off camera, being in the control room. And so I feel like that is what prepared me most about being in the workplace.
UCentral and the mass comm department has provided me all the tools and the fundamentals that are needed in order to thrive well and thrive fast at my job.
Maybe it's time to hit the road and visit a place where stories unfold. This is the land of the ultimate road trip, with sights old and new on Route 66. There's fun to be had, so much to do, and a few new surprises before you get through. Oklahoma has the most miles to share of Route 66. It's really quite rare. TravelOK.com will show you the way. Come see for yourself this iconic highway.
Welcome back, Broncos. I'm Perla Tovar with all of your social media updates. There's a lot to talk about since the Grammys was live last night from Los Angeles, so let's go ahead and dive right in. After more than 15 years of releasing music, Miley Cyrus has won her first 2 Grammy Awards. Cyrus had a great night as she took home the award for Best Pop Solo Performance, and later in the evening she won Record of the Year for her hit Flowers. But that's not it. She also put on an energy-filled performance. Let's take a look.
I didn't want to leave you, but had to. I didn't want to fight, but we did. Started to cry, then remembered I just won my first Grammy! Say things you don't understand, and you never will.
Last night, Jay-Z was also awarded the Dr. Dre Global Impact Award, but he used his speech to get something off his chest by calling out the Recording Academy. He said in his speech, "I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and has never won Album of the Year." Formerly known as Twitter, all over X, people were upset saying Jay-Z should stop complaining, but others think that he's defending his wife, Beyonce, who has won 32 Grammys in the past. We'll see if Beyonce makes any statements in the upcoming days. And for all the Swifties out there, Taylor Swift made history last night by becoming the first artist to win Album of the Year 4 times. Let's take a look.
I would love to tell you that this is the best moment of my life, but I feel this happy when I finish a song, or when I crack the code to a bridge that I love, or when I'm shot listing a music video, or when I'm rehearsing with my dancers or my band, or getting ready to go to Tokyo to play a show. For me, the award is the work. All I want to do is keep being able to do this. I love it so much. It makes me so happy. It makes me unbelievably blown away that it makes some people happy who voted for this award too. All I want to do is keep doing this. So thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do what I love so much. Mind blown. Thank you so
We're expecting an announcement about Reputation's Taylor versions coming out, but Taylor surprised her fans by announcing her brand new album coming out April 19th called The Tortured Poets Department. It looks like Taylor Swift will continue to be on top. And one of our very own Broncos, who's a member of the Pi Kappa Alpha fraternity chapter on campus, Jacob Henderson, actually attended last night's show. I can only imagine it was such a cool opportunity, and UCO wishes you safe travels back home. All right, that's all the time I have for you guys today, but if you guys missed out on last night's show, you guys can find all performances and updates on Grammys.com. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Perla. Well, coming up in sports, UCO's team saw a lot of action over the break as well as some heartbreaks.
Also, the Thunder are the best in the West. I have your first sports report when we come back.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Sports fans, to another semester of Bronco Sports. I'm Mark Lowe. Starting off strong today, the Bronco hockey team had a busy break, going 9-1 while we were away for the holidays, and they just secured another set of wins. The Chos were on the road to Springfield, Missouri to take on the Missouri State Bears for the second series of the season. The Chos dominated in both matchups, securing 2 more wins with a dominant 4-0 win to end the series. With the win, the Broncos moved to 22-4 on the season. The Broncos will be back in action this Thursday when they welcome the 13-8 Utah Utes to town. This matchup is slated to start at 7:30 at the Arctic Edge Ice Arena right here in Edmond. Now over to the mat. The top-ranked Bronco wrestling team was back home yesterday for Alumni Day against Central Missouri, and they put on a show for the vets in attendance. The Broncos got a big lead early on from Dylan Brown, Dylan Lucas, and Gabe Johnston, which put them up 27-0. The Mules got on the board with a tech fall in the 165 weight class, as well as a pin in the 184 class. Then it was time for the heavy hitters. All-Americans Dalton Abney and Sean Streck decimated their opponents and had the Broncos cruise to their 19th straight win. They moved to 12-0 on the season and 3-0 in conference play. The number 1 seeded Broncos are back home next week for Senior Day against Drury at the Hamilton Fieldhouse. First match is set for 2 p.m. right here in Edmond. Now on to the softball diamond. The 4th-ranked Lady Broncos were on the road to Louisiana to start their season, and it turned out to be a rough outing. Let's break it down. Lady Chos started their season out with a ranked matchup against 22nd-ranked Oklahoma Baptist. It was a rough hitting day as the Lady Chos only recorded 3 hits and dropped their opening game 2-1. They say history tends to repeat itself, and that's what happened against Augustana later that day, as the Lady Broncos fall once again with another 2-1 score. Back-to-back losses sparked something in the Lady Broncos as they came back Sunday with some fire and run-ruled Harding with a score of 10-1. The Magic didn't last for long, however. They dropped their last set of the match tournament 6-9 against Texas A&M Kingsville. Clearly not the most ideal start for the Lady Broncos, but that's the downside of being ranked in the top 5. They have another chance to prove themselves this Thursday as they head to the south side of Edmond to take on the 16th ranked Oklahoma Christian Eagles. First pitch is set for 4 p.m. Now on to the other dugout. The baseball team had a different start to their season, and it has them rolling headed into their next matchups. The Broncos played host to the Edmond First Pitch Classic this weekend and had a great turnout. The Chos started out their season against UCentral University on Thursday and run-ruled the Tigers 11-1 in 7 innings. They were back the next day against New Mexico Highlands in a tighter game, but the Broncos pulled through in a 4-2 win. Then came Saturday in a slugfest between the Broncos and Oklahoma Baptist. This was a heated game that saw both the Broncos' first base coach and head coach ejected. Only adding fuel to the fire, the Broncos down the Bison 6-3. And finally, on a windy and rainy Sunday, the Broncos faced off against New Mexico Highlands once again, and this time they weren't playing around. Back-to-back 5-run innings helped cruise the Broncos past the Cowboys 17-5 in 7 innings. The Broncos head east this weekend to Arkansas to face off against Arkansas Monticello. The Boll Weevils are 1-1 on the season and are welcoming a red-hot Bronco team for a 4-game series. It all starts at 2 p.m. this Friday in Monticello, Arkansas. Now on to the court. The women's basketball team has had a rough season so far, and unfortunately the woes continued in this weekend's matchups. The weekend started off with Pittsburgh State, where cold shooting kept the Broncos behind all game. Lady Cho shot 19 of 64 from the field and 4 for 22 from long range. The Broncos fell to the Gorillas 57-77 to start the weekend, but looked ahead to another conference rival in Missouri Southern. Lady Broncos were down most of the game until freshman Alexis Martin got things going in the third with 18 points to bring the Broncos within 3 with 49 seconds left. But with a couple of missed clutch shots by the Lady Broncos and 3 made free throws by Missouri Southern, the Lions closed the deal on the Broncos. This loss moves UCO to 5-16 on the season. They are on the road this weekend for a pair of matchups against Nebraska Kearney and Fort Hays State. The first game is against the Lopers in Kearney on Thursday at 5:30. Now on to the men's side of things. It was a rough January for the men's basketball team as they went 3-4, and that trend continued into February. The Broncos looked to avenge the loss from earlier on in the season against Pittsburgh State. The Broncos were outscored 32-41 in the first half to start the month. A second half surge saw the Broncos outscore Pitt State by 7 points, but it just wasn't enough. The Gorillas edged past the Broncos 71-69 as a last-second shot from Jaden Wells misses. Wells had an impressive 27 points in the matchup and was fired up for the next game against Missouri Southern. Wells led the first half of this affair in scoring 15 in the opening 20 minutes, and the Broncos led 30-27. Majok Majuk took over in the second half, scoring 16 of his 18 points in the final 20 minutes and carried the Broncos to a 65-61 win over conference rival Missouri Southern. The men's team is traveling with the women's team this weekend to a pair of conference games in Nebraska Kearney and Fort Hays State. Their first game of the road trip is set for this Thursday at 7:30 in Kearney. And finally today, the Thunder had an intense game last night against the Toronto Raptors that went into double overtime. The Raptors had the upper hand in the first half as they dropped 63 points against the Thunder's 47 headed into the half. The Thunder found their rhythm in the second half, answering everything that the Raptors threw at them. It was an all-around team effort and only the 5th time in NBA history that 5 players on one team scored 20 or more points in a game. With the score all tied up at 110, we headed into overtime where some clutch threes by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Lou Dort paved the way for Josh Giddey to ice the Raptors on a go-ahead layup. The Thunder come out on this one with a 135-127 win. And with the win, the Thunder reclaimed the #1 spot in the West and are tied with the Minnesota Timberwolves with a record of 35-15. They hit the road to Utah tomorrow to take on the Jazz before they have a 3-day break and head to Dallas. Tomorrow's game is set to start at 8 over on Bally Sports. And Emma, the Thunder are looking pretty great the last couple of weeks. What do you think that they're going to do?
I think they're going to win. I mean, we're just young, we're clicking. It's going to be a good few games. We'll say #1 for sure.
Absolutely. If you look at this team's chemistry, like even their post-game interviews, they are backing each other up. It's phenomenal. You just got to love it.
We'll make it far, I guarantee it.
Absolutely.
When we come back, we'll have our final look at weather. Stay with us.
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Welcome back. This past Thursday, the Black Student Association successfully hosted its annual Black History Month kickoff event. Collaborating with the African American Faculty and Staff Association, as well as the Student Inclusive Community Hub, this event featured food, music, awards, and a speech delivered by Councilwoman Nikki Nice. This event celebrated and emphasized the rich Black history in the town of Edmond. The chosen theme of the month, the fulfillment and dreams of people, was inspired by a quote from civic leader Clara Looper. Looking ahead, the Black Student Association plans to continue honoring Black History Month with upcoming events. On February 7th, they'll be hosting the Gospel Explosion, followed by Black Girl Magic on February 21st.
The Oklahoma City Thunder and Bigger Than Food Foundation are providing food lovers another way to support local business during Black History Month through the return of OKC Black Restaurant Bingo. During the month of February, participants can download a free bingo card online that includes 15 Black-owned restaurants around the Oklahoma City area. Players who get a restaurant bingo by eating a full horizontal, vertical, or diagonal row on the card can submit their picture via email to events@okcblackeats.com. The first 1,000 bingo winners will receive 2 free Thunder home game tickets. Participants can also play to win prizes by tagging @OKCBlackEats and using the hashtag OKCEatBlackRestaurants bingo on social media with their pictures of their visits to participating restaurants. For the full rules or to download the bingo card, visit OKCBlackEats.com. And right now with this weather, I would like to go out and try some different restaurants in the downtown Oklahoma City area. It's pretty nice outside right now.
Absolutely. It is a beautiful day in the Edmond area. We're going to go to Maureen Dirk right now for our last look at the weather. Maureen?
Hi, so again, this week it is beautiful. We're not used to seeing this in February. Thursday, a great day, 67. Just make sure you stay outside on that day. And then as you move in through the rest of the week, it is going to get a little bit colder, but even 47 is pretty high for February. Wind will come through and it will be a little bit cloudy, but make sure you're enjoying this weather. Nothing really too crazy this week, but it is Oklahoma, so things can always change. And then as we go back for tomorrow, it's going to be 32 at 7 a.m. So put on a jacket, make sure that you're dressing warm. Noon, 55. It's going to be a great day to go get some lunch. Maybe go get a picnic, go for a walk. And 7 p.m. it is going to be clear and 58. But that is all I have for you, Broncos. I hope you all have a good night, and thank you guys for tuning in for the weather.
Thanks for that, Maureen. And like she mentioned, tomorrow's a great day to go get outside, nice and sunny for February. You don't really see that often.
Absolutely. Just to go outside, walk on around campus, get some friends, have a picnic on Buddy's lawn, anything like that. It's a great opportunity.
Absolutely. And that is unfortunately all the time we have today for this edition of UCentral News. For now, I'm Mark Lowe.
And I'm Emma Birch. You guys have a great night.